What up, H-Town? Welcome to another episode of the official Dynamo Theory Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura, and I am joined by Cristian and Rodrigo Segura. Guys, we are back for episode number 9. We haven't gotten canceled yet, man, which I believe is a good thing, right? But before we jump into it, Cristian, tell the people how they can connect with us, man.
What's up, everybody? At Dynamo Theory on IG and Twitter for everything on there. You can give us shout us or send us an email. There you go. At Dynamo Theory Podcast at gmail.com. You can find me at Cris Putalias. You can find Rudy at Rudy Segura 3. And you can find Rodrigo at Rodrigo Segura 01. And everything that you may need and desire from Dynamo. DynamoTheory.com, and you'll have everything there. Breakfast links Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out soon about some player profiles. So a sneak peek there. It's coming soon. So yeah, what's up, guys?
It's up. And so, yeah, hasn't been a ton of happening since we last spoke or last recorded. There should be a conference sometime by the time you listen to this episode. So we may learn a little bit more of insight, depending what the preseason's looking like. Obviously, right now we're about 5 days in, technically 6 days in. And so there's, things are going to start to develop. But one thing that we have been hearing are some rumors, right? I mean, there's still transfer, whether it be ins or outs, are going to happen for the club. That's a given. Pat and Nagamura are looking for a midfielder, a winger. We're not necessarily sure, but to bring in anybody, you have to make some room. And one of the big things that we're looking at, it seems that Bajamich is on his way out. Looks like he may get loaned out to poor Bajamich, right? He didn't get too much. We didn't get to see him much. But the team looks like, maybe they weren't excited about it. So might as well, move on now, instead of making it awkward and not playing him for another year, and then you get nothing out of him. So it looks like they're trying to loan him out with a buy option to Huracan. Is that correct, Cristian?
Yep.
Huracan. Okay. So yeah, he's gonna go back to the Argentina. Back to Argentina. I believe they are in the Primera.
I believe so. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they are in Primera.
So anyway, Bajamich, it looks like we may be dumping. And Rodrigo, your thoughts on that?
I mean, with the new additions, Sebastian and Thor, and basically the attacking potential we have, I think it's a good thing for him. We couldn't see much of him last season, and he still has a lot of time to grow. A loan wouldn't be too bad in case something doesn't turn out for the Dynamo this season, but it'll be a great for, I guess, his young career.
Also, personally, I'm glad that he's being loaned out to a club in Argentina because he's going to be able to go back to his roots. But then also, I'm just thinking right now, I don't know if it would have been better to loan him out to a USL club or a team in the United States, maybe so he can stay around the league. But then again, he didn't get accustomed to the league when he was here, and he got 0 to no minutes. So I think probably the best move was to get him out and send him back to Argentina. And I was reading in Argentina, they actually have him in high regards. So it's interesting because when he was here, we didn't see anything at all. And I went to the preseason game that they played in Aviva, that they played a USL team. If I'm not mistaken, they played
Austin FC, I think.
No.
Austin Bold, I mean.
Was it? I can't remember. I can't remember. It was one of those teams. But they played somebody, and yeah, he didn't really have much. I think he did score, if I remember correctly, but it wasn't the promise that I guess it was promised, basically, But then again, it was a Matt Jordan signing, so those things we had to take them with a grain of salt. So, but then again, I wish the kid the best. I think he still needed some, like Rodrigo was saying, he still probably needed some time to develop a little bit more. And we probably picked him up too soon, and when he was in Argentina Instituto, second division team, even though they were doing well, I think, he still needed some maturing to do, when it comes to being a professional or the environment. And then you come over here and you drop him in the Houston Dynamo that's already struggling. and you want him to become your star, you're probably not going to get that. Too much pressure.
Yeah, and I think what you're mentioning there is kind of like the different homeworks, right, that the regimes are doing, because one of the questions that was asked about Sebastian Ferreira was like, do you guys think that he's ready for the league? And maybe, that wasn't something, maybe they looked at the skills. It's like, it looks like a good striker, it looks like he has speed, but he was missing those, what do they call them? Intangibles, right? Some of those outside or mentality. Maybe he just wasn't ready to make that jump. I mean, the guy was 21, first time ever leaving. Yeah. Well, and then first time leaving, his country and during pandemic. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and if you don't have the right mentality, you're definitely not going to fit in. Rodrigo, anything you want to add to close this Bajamich talk?
No, I think we had mostly all the main points with him.
All right, sounds good. Then we'll move to another rumor that it's the guy from Ukraine. He's been his name been moving around on social media. His name is Marlos, Brazilian born, but played with the Ukraine national team. It seems that there's some kind of connection between Paloma Nagamura and him. Winger is a spot that they're looking to reinforce, and this guy would come in a free transfer. So, Cristian, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the guy's older, right? But I think, what everybody was, obviously, I don't know the guy, I've never heard of him. So I think nobody heard of him. So we got him, or the rumor started popping up. But, when you get a guy that, has played in the Champions League, has played in the Europa League, the Ukrainian league probably is not the best league out there, but, they get, they rub whatever they rub, with other teams, with other teams, like European teams. So, having like Champions League experience, which is the highest competition in the on earth, basically, probably, neck to neck with the World Cup, basically. I think having that experience of like traveling, going, expectations. I know like Eastern Europe gets crazy when it comes to soccer, so I'm sure they put a lot of pressure. So, and the guy, yeah, he might be old, which is 33 years old, which is crazy to think that at 33 year old. But if he can give us a few couple 2-3 years, I think it'll be a great addition. And the guy seems pretty legit. To the videos that we watch. He seems legit, so why not bring him in, give him a try,
Yeah, and like you mentioned, 33 years old. I think that would be like a win now kind of move. You get a guy agile, maybe somebody that you can add next to a Darwin Quintero, kind of similar. I guess maybe this guy's a little bit more faster, but it's a good add-on to this young core that you have, and I think it's like a win now mentality. Rodrigo, what do you want to add to that?
I haven't really been following Marlos all that close, but I've watched a few games here and there. But I think the thing that he reminds me the most when I've seen him play, against Real Madrid, Inter, wherever they've been playing in the Champions League mostly, he kind of gives me that sensation of like I'll compare it to a EPL, not really MLS, but James Milner. I feel like this guy can play anywhere. I've seen him, go out and play like a left wing or right wing, middle, anything that they kind of need him for. Left back, right back, he kind of fills in those positions sometimes. With his experience, older, I can see him being a guy that you want to bring in just for that, that experience that he's bringing in with the younger guys, the younger team that we have now. So, yeah.
And go for it.
No, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, if just talking about the club itself, I mean, how many? And I'm sure if you only think about Ukraine, the only team that comes to mind is Shakhtar Donetsk. But anyways, at least it's a club we kind of know.
Yeah, we heard of them here and there. But yeah, so moving into like the next topic, right? Well, first of all, let's close this down. Just a yes or no. Do you guys think he's gonna be coming in to Houston? Yes or no? I mean, the moves, getting sending Bajamich out, getting an international space there, and then getting another international from San Jose kind of gives you the clues that we might bring him in or somebody else from outside. But do you guys think, would you like him in your team? Yes or no?
I think if the connection is there with Pablo yes. Yeah. I would bring him. Rodrigo?
Yeah, I would bring him, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, are we only going to give him? Expect him to play maybe 2 years? I would say at his age, it's kind of like Rudy mentioned, win now mentality, which is good, but good 2 years, and then hopefully Paulo's doing something great with the team that you're just kind of pushing through and already know what the next step is.
Let Cristian move into the next one, but also just look about Philadelphia Union. They had a guy from Shakhtar too. His name is Cicinho, and he became a fan favorite. The guy is like 38 now, but anyways.
Jesus. It's almost my age. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next topic. Basically, there's a bunch of scrimmages about to start. So, I think the first one's February 29th, right? Against Dynamo 2.
On Saturday,
yep. Yeah, we still don't know like specifics about, if we're going to be able to go watch or not, but let's just say, we're able to go or maybe not that game, but the other games. Hopefully they're televised, so we're or like streamed or whatever. But like thinking about those games, what is something that you guys would like to see, like from the scrimmages? Do you want to see like formations? Are you looking for specific players? You want to see if they're growing, if they're moving around. Do you want to see how tactically they're put together? What do you guys think about those? Like, what are you looking for?
I'll start real quick. I want to see goals. I think last season the tactics weren't there, but the hustle was there, right? The team always seemed to have a work rate. Most of the games we lost by 1 goal, maybe. So you look at how many goals we scored. We didn't score many. So this preseason, I kind of want to see it, come to a closure. I want us to see Sebastian Ferreira score some goals. I want to see, Fafa score some goals and get assists. I want to see Quintero come in and, I want to see us scoring more goals. That's how I would see it.
Rodrigo?
I'm on the opposite end on that. No, I want to see goals, but at the same time, I do want to see our defense improve. With the Steve Clark signing, I want to see how he's going to control his backfield, how he's going to communicate with the center backs. Hadibi, big presence in the area next to Tim Parker. I just kind of want to get more of the sense of security in the back. Like Rudy said, we did lose one game, or a couple games, 1 goal or by 1 goal. So having, that clean sheet, the stronger defense, gives at least a little bit more opportunity to find the goal and try to get a few more wins.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too. Kind of like in the same wheelhouse. I'm not too worried about goals, just because I know it's preseason and hopefully they do come. Obviously, I want to win even like a 2v2. Like, I don't care. I want to win. But yeah, basically, I want to see how tactically, like, they're going to be positioned in a way and talking, about the defense. I want to see if Steve Clark is going to be more commanding, talking about goalkeepers, because I feel like the goalkeepers that we had, they weren't very vocal. And Clark seems a little bit more vocal. So I want to see that dynamic. And I don't think Tim Parker did a great job last year, personally. I think the potential is there. And whenever he did his press conference, I think you started to see more like confidence come in. I think he wants to be more of the New York Red Bulls Tim Parker. And hopefully with this new regime and, with more pressure from like the coaching staff and stuff like that, he'll be able to become that New York Red Bulls Tim Parker that, people were talking about, especially, with being the highest paid, center back duo. Like, we're expecting to, let's not get scored on. We need more clean sheets. We need more like force. We need more struggle in that area, because it's ridiculous, And then also, I want to see how who goes up in the beginning? Are we gonna see Quintero from the start? Are we gonna see Quintero come in like a second half? Are we gonna see who's gonna be on the wings? There's so many options right now. Obviously, we already know who the number 9 is gonna be. Like, there's no like stuff to think about that. And then I want to see Thor. I want to see what the hell that kid brings. So
I think he's gonna be fun to watch for sure. I think Thor.
Yeah, so far he looks like he has a good attitude. So looks like it's gonna be fun watching him.
No pressure, Thor. No pressure. Come on the podcast. And then a little bit also I wanted to ask you guys, because some people are more nerdy than others when it comes to formations. I wanted to know if you guys had a specific formation that you guys like, or do you guys prefer? Do you guys like 3 in the back, like 3 center backs, or I guess a line of 5? Do you guys like the sweeper formation, like have a sweeper in the back and the guy in the front? Whatever I don't know. So obviously I'm not too nerdy. I'm super basic. In high school I played both, with the sweeper. I was a sweeper, right? I don't know why you guys are laughing.
I think this is like a catcher joke, I catch you pitch.
What do you mean?
That's never mind.
I don't even know we're talking about football at this point.
Yeah, but anyway, I got you. No, you're good, man.
I didn't get the joke. But yeah, just that, because when I played in high school, I played sweeper, and I was very comfortable playing the sweeper, standing behind everybody, and just if anybody go through, I would just go and kill them. Basically that's my job. And then when we switched to a line of 4 with 2 center backs, I was very confused because I never played center back, right? But I felt very comfortable playing left center back really, really quick. My 2-3 years in high school. Obviously, it's not the same, but But I don't know. I just feel sometimes when I see a line of 5 in the back, I'm like, damn, this is weird. Too many people back here. Y'all need to move away. So I don't know if you have a preference, and who would you put if you do have a preference?
So I guess I'll start. I'm always comfortable playing. Sorry for I guess not trying to crap on your show off out of a Dynamo Theory, but a 4-3-3, and the way I like to play, the way I like to play, or I would play, it's gonna be you got your 4 in the back, your midfield would actually be a center defensive mid, and then and for me, we already talked about the 4 in the back would obviously be Sarek, Hadibi, Parker, and Adam, and then your center defensive mid, I'll definitely put Mati Beta there, and then that'll just leave with Quintero and Coco in the mid, and then you got Sebas on top, Fafa on the wing, and I would even go for Memo on the other side, or Pasher. That would be my style of play. But
I would say definitely check out the last episode, because we actually went all in detail in the starting 11. But Cristian, just to answer your question formation wise, I think in my case, I think the formation that I've always liked was a 4. What is it? I guess they call it 4-2-3-1. Yeah, I know, not 4-4-2. Even though 4-4-2 is fun, but it's hard to get 2 strikers nowadays, right? Do it correctly. But I think apart from just the starting lineup, I think one thing that we really want to see is from Pablo Nagamura, and be able to modify his formation as the game goes on. I think that's the key, right? Because I think we notice how in the past, the formation was a 4-3-3, and it never changed throughout the game, or it will go into a 5, 5-2-3 was the other formation. And it was like that till I'm adding up the numbers. Yeah, that sounds right. 5-2. Yeah, that's right.
I carry the 2.
But the formation was basically, this is how we come in, and this is how the game ended, and we lost 2-0. I feel like you have to be able to modify and adapt to what the other team is giving you. If you if all you did was all week practice like a certain information, that's what you're sticking to. At the end of the day, I don't think you're doing a good management of the team. You have to be able to like, look, this is my top 11, and this is how we're gonna start. And the other team is beating us on the right, then we're gonna switch our formation so we're stronger on that right, and so forward and so forth. Which you should be able to be able to see that in those preseason games, especially against the MLS rivals that you'll play. Obviously I think there's a total of 8 games, so probably towards the end, past the 4th, 5th game, you should kind of want to see some of that.
Also, I was just thinking, I don't know if this is controversial or not or whatever. But I guess I'm just gonna say it. But I'm not a fan of changing my formation, because of the rival. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people do that, and I guess it's fine. But I rather play my game like 100% of the time, and I guess you can adjust in a way. But I don't like the fact that we're playing so and so. We're gonna play with 5 in the back. I think is a I don't want to say the word, but it's a lady part move.
Yeah. No. I think you're right. I think like if you're sticking to if your formation is a 4-4-2 and that's what you're gonna play, keep playing it. But during the game, you have to learn to adjust the game, right? Because if you're gonna get creamed, then modify it, then get a goal, and then you're back to playing 4-4-2. Because you're making it your game at that rate.
Yeah, I just think like mentality wise, like let's just say you're going, we're gonna go play LAFC at whatever Bank of America, whatever their bank is called over there. Like, and you go like, we're gonna play 5-3-1-1 or whatever the number adds up to. It's like you already know that you're gonna go defend the entire game.
Yeah, I was gonna say just park the bus at that rate.
Yeah,
right?
might as well just bring the whole guys and just stack them. Just playing a 1-10-0-0-0. Like, I'm not a fan of that. I just think mentality wise, you're already like committed to losing or to tying. And I understand that some games, like you have to be smart or tactical or whatever. At the end of the season, you're like, well, I need a couple of points here and there. And I understand being more defensive, but I think you can be more defensive in the fact that, we're not going to go pressure too high. We're going to pressure like to midfield, or we're not going to go, we're not going to try. If we attack, not everybody's going to go. We're only going to send a few guys, and everybody else is going to just kind of stay in the midfield or kind of, stay in our half to just in case there's counterattacks or whatever, or keep 2-3 guys always, for counters or whatever it may be. But I think there's ways to play around it. Obviously, I'm not a coach, but, I like to play coach. And I just always think that, if you go into a game already with the mindset of like, we're going to have to park the bus this one because, it's a difficult field. It's like, nah, bro, like fields, they're difficult, but I think like if you're a professional team, you should be able to go and compete with everybody. Obviously, respect them all, but don't be like intimidated by any of them. I don't know. That's just my personality, but it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I think if Paulo's gonna have a set formation, and that because that's what they. I mean, I would assume as a professional coach, as a professional players, you're gonna train your best way, and if you're gonna go play defensive, then what's the point of even trying to, go for the game at that point, like you mentioned. So if he goes, with a 4-3-3 or a 3-5-3 or whatever he's trying to go for in the more attacking, that's a 3-5-2. Sorry.
Multiply by 2, divide by 3, carry the 1.
Whatever.
Square root of 5. Is that an imaginary number?
That's when you play the goalkeeper as well. Or you say like F our defense. Yeah, we got 3 in the back either way. So no, yeah. But whatever he's gonna play, I do agree that sometimes you do have to change formation throughout the game. And if you want to make modifications, I think that's fine, but just don't go all out defensive. If you feel like your defense needs more help, then instead of having 3 mids that one of them is attacking, maybe you just drop one a little bit more off to help the defense, or you play your 2 center backs, you kind of play them staggered, where one always drops off more, the other one just kind of stays level. But I just don't want to see, early on, I just don't want to see the Dynamo go to a like strictly defensive because we're playing a tough opponent. I just want to see them, go after it.
And I think I was just gonna add to that real quick. And I think one of the good things, I guess, that maybe Tob did was kind of making Sam Jankwa and Griffin Dorsey pretty versatile, whether it be like playing on the back or up front, or in some case even playing center back. And that's another thing that maybe we need to kind of look at, kind of keep an eye out for what Nagamura is going to do, because some of these guys haven't played much in the last 2 years, so they're going to be in your roster, and you may have to maybe change their position altogether, right? And the reason I just mentioned that is because looking at who he coached under, Burmese, he did that with like players like Graham Susi. He played from I think most of his career he was in the winger, and the last 6-7 years he got dropped back to a right back, and he's probably he's not the fastest guy per se, but he's one of those guys that gives you that edge, because if you do go from a 4 to a 3 because you want him to attack, he can take those long shots. And that's why I keep saying players maybe like Memo Rodriguez or even the Sedan, you never know, they may end up getting moved to a different position just to give them a fresh start elsewhere. But Cristian, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and also if you look at our roster, like I think we have pretty good like offensive players that we should be an offensive team. Like, you have Fafa, you have Pasher, you have Corey Baird, you have Memo, you have Palomino, you have Quintero. If this guy Marlos comes in, you have Marlos, and then you have a proper number 9 in the box that can just get all the rebounds if needed. Like shots can be taken, and you have this year we can legitimately say we have a 9 that can actually do that. Because Rudy, he's not a 9. He's like a false 9. He likes to play outside of the box. It felt like he doesn't know how to play with his back against the goal. I think this guy looks a little bit bigger. He looks a little bit more capable of creating his own space. Rudy, most of his goals, they were pretty nice, but like they were all like, he was picking, here and there, like whenever he could. Like a couple of his goals came from corners that he was just chilling in the back post. And, if you have a guy that is good and like is going to be good in, in the air and good like creating his own chances, and you have guys kind of bringing balls into the box, to create those chances, I think we should be a more attacking team than a defensive team, personally.
And I think you're right. I mean, if you look at the squad, it is. And I'm going to kind of transition to something Rodrigo said and let him maybe, develop it more. But I think you have to be able to be good in the transition game, right? So, a good defensive midfielder. I know that, Derrick Jones was promising at one point, and Rodrigo said, maybe this can be his year, because, we love Mati. Mati's great. Coco's great. But at the end of the day, you do need like a physical guy. I mean, Jones is 6'6". He should be able to destroy those attacking when you're full out attack with so many guys. It's going to be hard for them to track. So you definitely need a disrupted piece in the middle. But Rodrigo, did you want to build anything there with Derrick Jones that I mentioned?
Mostly what Cristian mentioned, all the attacking pieces. Yeah, you're gonna need more dependability on your defense, and Derrick Jones gives you that. We've seen him win basically those 50-50 balls in the air. The recovery with him is pretty good too. So if Paulo goes more for like if he does plan to play like a center defensive mid, I think he would be one of the obvious choice to give you that. But at the same time, with all the attacking players we have, I think we also need to, worry about our defense.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw, but there was like a video going around of Derrick Jones, like a 9-minute video of like his highlights. I didn't see it, but he's promising. When I saw him and you see his size, you're like, man, this dude is going to kill everybody in the midfield. Like there's no way somebody's going to get through. And he had glimpses of that. And then like, get the ball and kind of like attack. But, I don't know where he fell off. But, hopefully this is the year for everybody, right? But this year should be a good year hopefully for Derrick Jones and get starting, even if not a starting spot. Sometimes you want to be defensive, like at the end of the games, when you're trying to protect a lead, and you can take Coco, who is like more of an offensive center mid, and then put him with, Derrick Jones and Matias Vera to be more defensive in that midfield, and just, have Quintero not worry about coming back or tracking back, so then, I don't have to give him any shit for not tracking back. But, if you have two good defensive, guys right there that can do their job, and just have Quintero just free and, just go create, son. Like, that's you. Like, I think we would be set, in a game that we have to be defensive if we have to, but that's that.
Yeah, so I think we hit all the topics we're going to talk about today. Like I said, there should be a conference or maybe more developing news throughout the week, and surely we'll talk about that. But Cristian, let the people how they can connect with us again, man.
For shizzle. So you can hit us up at Dynamo Theory on IG and Twitter. Obviously, we post everything there. You can hit us up at Dynamo Theory Podcast at gmail.com. If you have any like questions, concerns, or whatever, that's our email. You can hit us up straight there. We have a YouTube channel. It's a new thing that we just started. We started putting our podcast there. So if you want to see our pretty faces, hi, thank you, welcome. And then every if we get to do player interviews, they're always going to be there as well. And hopefully when the season starts, we'll be putting a little bit more content there. And then you can find me at Cris Putalias. You can find Rudy at Rudy Segura 3, and you can find Rodrigo at Rodrigo Segura 01. And for everything and anything that you may want to know about the Houston Dynamo, dynamotheory.com.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully we talk more about it. Rodrigo, you want to go ahead and just close it out?
Yeah, thank you for listening, Dynamo fans. You know what to do. Hold it down and keep it forever orange.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.